Hi, my name is Daryl Nelson, and I am a fashion designer. I originally, back in third grade, wanted to be a dentist. I have no interest in teeth. I can pretty much care less about teeth. I spent a lot of time in my elementary school days drawing with my father and kind of taking it to a new level when I loved clothes. Like when you become into that preteen phase and you like to buy things and look at things. And then I realized, oh, wait, this is something I'm actually very passionate about. And then from there, my love of painting, and it kept evolving and evolving, and eventually it became something that I knew I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I buy colorful books like this just to study patterns and prints, and I just have fun. Fashion's all about fun, and that kind of fits my personality. So those are one of the main factors of why I became a fashion designer. But what inspires me is just the world around me, video games, things you see on TV, characters, fictional characters, and just the love of what you see with your eyes. So those are just, I guess, high level what inspires me to be a designer.
Can you tell me more about the process of you designing clothes?
So for me, it always starts with a phrase. So I can write a sentence down. Let's say I'm like, purple glove. Purple glove becomes a full theme in my mind, and I begin to sketch it on paper. But everything starts with words first before it hits the paper. This is an old sketch from when I was about 16. This is very old. And when I do this type of stuff, this is more just based off of color and looking at a color wheel. But since then, I've grown so much to just now know that phrasing things out before I draw them have been more successful. And for me, more rewarding because it's just free from the mind with no actual end goal. Like, these are a group of sketches I made a while ago based off of the color brown, just cool things and just ideas that flow out of a sentence onto a page. So that's how I start the beginning of the process when it comes to design. And when something's to finale, it gets a full individualized sketch and has its own moment. So let's say I'm drawing a black dress. When it's done, it gets an individual sketch, and this is how they usually look because they're now a fully realized sentence into a color thought to an idea on a pad. And then eventually it become things like this, which are finished designs. So that's like my subject process when it comes to the design portion. As far as other steps, like how it's made and all those other details, that's a whole different story.
So I understand that you have a personal Instagram account where you do a little series called Sketch with Me. So I was just wondering, can you tell me the process behind that? What was the thought behind that?
So I'm a very random person. I was on a trip with my partner last year in 2023, of course, and I was doing something and watching someone's get ready with me, and I was like, why does no one do a sketch with me? Where it's like the most random times of the day, I'm drawing something on a piece of paper, or in this case, my iPad. So the idea came about just knowing that I like to sketch on a whim. Like I said, my process is from words to paper. So when I feel cool and feel strong about a word, I throw something down because my sketchbook is endless. I went from manual to digital. I could do it on any forms, and I always tell people it's all about just expressing yourself. So I'm like, except for showcasing a lot of get ready with me on the internet, we actually bring something new. So Sketch with Me came about because I'm a random person who thinks new things should be on the internet. So that's where it came from.
As I'm taking a look around your home, around your office, I'm noticing a lot of Beyonce. I'm, I'm, I take it you're a Beyonce fan.
Correct. Definitely a Beyonce fan. A fan for since I feel like since I know what she sounds like. But yeah, I've been a fan.
How would you say Beyonce inspires any of your work at all, if she does?
I don't think it's how she looks that inspires my work. I think it's what she means. Like she's like to me like a modern day hero per se. And I like what her music says to me. It speaks to me. I can jam out to it. It's more so of a passion that I enjoy her and one day would love for something to end up on her. And you know what? Not would. It will end up on her. But like I said, that's why I'm like a super fan in a different way. I'm not out here killing people over Beyonce. Trust me, that's not that deep. But I'm inspired from what she means for black people like us around the world. Entertainer with no doesn't play out of rules, and I like that because that's how life should be. No one should put you in a box and say you are the box. But I like music that also, once again, speaks to people. It has a lot of culture in it. I take a lot of pride on who I am as a person because I wouldn't want to wake up any other way, if that makes any sense. I don't live in oppression. I live to progress, right? And I feel like that's where black culture is going. I tell people college isn't the setup for success. It's the work you put in during college, at college, and make sure you use your connections wisely to get somewhere, especially in a very creative industry. At the end of it, there's only so much you can do. It's about breaking the mold to figure out what your skills from college can transfer to do in order to get where you want to go. No path is the same, no dream is the same. So my experience at Drexel was an interesting one because it's not a school that taught me things that I already know. No one can teach me how to be creative, right? But what they can teach you is ways to use your creativity to get into the industry. So my experience at Drexel was, like I said, an interesting one, but also a very informative one and very eye-opening for young adults to pay attention to. College does not equal guarantee. It's the work you put in. So my, like I said, at Drexel, I had to really be in it, and it was a good experience to say the least. Other than that, I mean, the fun parts about college, of course, they were all good too. Like learning about some sciences. My degree is a bachelor of science, so it's not a fine arts degree. So we did scientific focus, and I feel like even with that, allowed me to think differently about how I go about my designing, and also just taking unique classes in school. So that's like my college experience wrapped up in one. It was like adulting 101 instead of what I was actually graduating for. Respect your teachers, right? Like that's a big deal. If you have a teacher who's willing to help you, take it. Also, your friends in school. There's friends, there's peers, acquaintances, whatever you want to call them. Use them to your advantage. You never know where someone's going to land that you might want to be at. That means be friendly, be available, be helpful. That's how you make genuine connections. You know what I hate? Let's put it out there. LinkedIn isn't a real connection to anyone. That's a connection platform for jobs and more, right? You can use that as much as you want, right? And see where life gets you, but literally saving a phone number. And I mean, if you want to use LinkedIn to connect with someone, do it, but it's just not, that's not, there's no formula. And I feel like that's what I guess kids in college miss. I feel like there is no, I'm going to do this after school because I know blah, blah, blah. That's just not how life works. It's about what did you do in school? Are you doing independent projects? Are you taking more time out of your day to further yourself after college? Because that's where it actually matters. And make sure you build a portfolio. That's very important as well. Portfolio work will get you very far with these quote unquote connections because no one wants to see you do nothing. Everyone does the same college work. You can do a lot more.
So, aside from connections that you formed in college, tell me more about these other connections you formed with people from across the world.
So Instagram's always a start. Honestly, a nice message goes a long way. But that's not really how I did it. I just do research. So for me, in the industry I work in, you can do a lot of crafting in the States. You can do a lot of crafting overseas. It's up to you. I have several connections that are different states as far as to make garments for me because I don't sew. I don't sew by choice, that is, because I don't believe it's for what I'm trying to do and shoe design and all these other great things that I do. These are things that I don't make. I have to pay people to make them. So overseas, I do a lot of research on factories, using wholesale websites to also find out what factory makes what, and a lot of calling, a lot of WhatsApp. If you guys don't know what WhatsApp is, the international communication platform to talk to other people across the seas without running up their plan and also running up mine. But it's all about research. I take time to take myself very seriously in my craft. So my other connections are just a hello, hi, like a cold call almost to other people to build a semi reliable team and people to work with when it comes to things. Because remember, they also run a business. The factory that made this is a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I have money per se to offer for what I need done, you build a connection from there, and that's how you do those type of connections. But even domestics, like I said, I do my own shoots for my brand as well. I don't shoot them. I hire a photographer. These are all just talking. I'm seeing this talk on Instagram. I like your work. Here's what I'm willing to pay if you shoot something for me. It'll all become connections under the belt, and they keep growing and growing because most creatives want to work with other creatives, and most companies, if you don't want to do something, I bet you there's someone you can pay to do it. So all of it is just talking. It's talking, talking, talking. It's not this robotic thing called LinkedIn. Once again, it's not called that. It's so much more than that. And also talking to your teachers. Once again, they have people that they know outside of a school environment that can help you get where you want to go. So my connections from overseas are just for me saying hello and doing the research, digging into yourself, focus on yourself because you are your hardest piece of work. So